Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Blood Samurai. My name is Sam and today we're back playing Peglin. Now, today I'm going to be showcasing just how broken this new relic is and why it is going to be an essential part for your future Peglin builds. Now, as you can see here, leave the rest for later. That's the name of the relic, and what it does is it adds 10 refreshes to the board, but now every refresh on the board only refreshes 4 pegs. Now, I've added relics that can easily be obtained in a normal game. I'm not going to be choosing any more relics from this point on. And you're only really going to see, obviously at the beginning, since I have all these relics already, it's going to look broken just from the start. So, as it gets to the end, it's gonna look and feel like a more of a natural game. It's not gonna look like I've gone in with a custom start here. But just look at how broken this is going to be. So obviously these normal rounds, I didn't go for some of the other relics that you could easily obtain as well. That will add like piercing and stuff like that. But you could see just from these beginning results. Like anything that adds must circle, anything that adds finesse. Like, and these are level 1 orbs. These like I could upgrade these easily to level 2 and to level 3 and get all of my orbs up to level 2 and 3, or get them up to level 3, and and on top of the multi-ball as well. The multi-ball adds like that. Like I said, these are all relics that can easily be obtained in any normal run. So you could easily obtain this type of build in a normal run and dominate the enemies. Dominate every single enemy that comes out. Obviously, I might go for like a piercing build. Or I might go for something with piercing. This orb right here would actually fix my pierce problem. Like, I could just go with that. But I'm not going to. Because I want to showcase these orbs. And how well that this build right here will synergize with everything. I'm telling you, this relic, it's gonna be important for any build that has any level of scaling. Anything that relies on scaling, you're gonna need. And that's gonna be most builds that you guys go for, right? Like, that's pretty much all the builds I go for. All the builds I go for have scaling. So like I said, this is gonna be essential. You're gonna need this build. You're gonna need this relic. Because, like I said, anything that adds finesse, anything that scales in finesse, anything that scales in must circle, you're gonna want this relic right here. And like, refresh builds are just gonna be they're just gonna become the new strat. Like, they're gonna be the new overpowered strat that everyone is gonna go for. Because that's just how broken this new relic is. It breaks the game. It breaks the new synergies and stuff in the game. Because it just makes things too easy. It really does. It makes everything so easy. Even if I didn't have all these relics, all I had was this, right? I would just need some orb that has scaling. I would need some pierce, so then I can hit multiple enemies. I would need a healing, and then that's all you need. You need, with this relic, all you need is healing, piercing, and scaling. That's really all you need, and then you're golden. Also, one thing to note, that this relic was nerfed, and I will go through all the changes and stuff in a future video. But for the time being, I'm going to showcase obviously the current build that I'm going for. So yeah, it is absolutely insane. And you could easily add more relics to this without going over the number of relics that you could easily obtain in a normal run. Like this is definitely way fewer relics than you could normally get. Like I have less relics than you normally could get in a run. And the only thing that I'm going to change, the only thing that I'm going to consider going for is going to be piercing. And I will show you just how strong piercing will be. I mean, you can see already, like the refreshes, they just they refresh the refreshes and the refreshes hit the refreshes and it's refresh central out here. Like it's crazy. It is absolutely insane how broken the game is now because of this new relic that was added. Like it really has changed the game. It really has. It has made everything a lot easier, to say the least. So let's just, I mean, healing when reloading, don't really need it. I mean, we could go for a shop, hope to get something that adds piercing. Nothing. Nothing adds pierce. We don't need any of this stuff. And in case you're wondering why I went for, well, okay, now I have to, you know what, I'll just go for a random one. It gave me the Nimball, that's fine. You know, I don't know if you guys ever remember how hard this guy was, especially if you were going into, like, the beginning. Yeah, he's not difficult anymore. You get a summon circle as well. I'm not going to go for any boss relics, even though I'm pretty sure I could be mistaken, so let me know in the comments if I am wrong about this. But I am fairly certain you can get up to 3 boss relics if you get that Enter the Terror um, fight, or Enter the Terror event. Um, so then, during that, you could get up to 3 boss relics, I believe. Like I said, could be mistaken. But yeah, let's just keep going, and let's just keep seeing how well I can do. I mean, I'm not worried about losing ever. Like, there's not a single fight that I'm actually even remotely worried about. You could go for, like, honestly, you could go for this guy as well, and then there's that relic that makes it so that every refresh adds, 2 gold, and then you have this guy that triggers a crit every 11, and you could have that, and then that would scale as well. That would add even more scaling to your build. This thing right here, so many refreshes, you just get. Like I said, the more anything that adds more refreshes is going to break the game, and this adds 10. This adds 10 refreshes. Just think about that for a second. 10 refreshes. Like anything, like I said, anything that scales is going to benefit from this relic. And that is genuinely why I do believe this is going to break it's just going to break everything to do with the future of this game. Because everything's gonna start revolving around refreshing. Because that's just how broken this new synergy is. Like you definitely like the beginning fights, like or the beginning parts of a fight can definitely be a little slow when it comes to refreshes. And when I say beginning, I mean maybe the first shot. By the second shot, you're golden. Like you're gonna be fine. You get like the echo chamber as well. Chamber will change the game for you. It'll wow. It could really echo chamber could really do work. It could really put in work. Um, duplicate orb, like that would be pretty good as well. There's just so many things that would go well with this build. Every crit. I mean, we don't really want that. Um, But yeah, I really do believe that this is gonna change the game. Just because of how insane this new relic is. Like, you can't die. I mean, first of all, you can't lose. And because when you hit a refresh, as long as you can heal from refreshing, you're not gonna die. You literally become invincible. You basically become invincible. You do infinitely scaling damage. As long as you have piercing, you're able to hit an infinite number of enemies. You literally become an unstoppable force with this relic, because it I mean, you could achieve this in a normal build without this relic, but this relic makes it quite literally, if I had to put a number on it, how easy it makes it, I would honestly probably say it makes this like 10 times easier. It really does. It adds 10 more refreshes, makes it just 10 times easier. I feel like that's the simplest way to put it. It really makes the game just that much easier. It really does. That's the best way I can put it. It just makes the game so much easier. The game is no longer a challenge with this relic. It's a boss relic, so like the first forest fight, it might be a little challenging. Uh, but like I said, once you have scaling and stuff, you're golden. You really are just you're fine. There's nothing to worry about. And the only thing that I'm gonna try to go for is, like I said, the only thing I'm gonna try to go for is just piercing. If I can get something with piercing, that'll be really nice. Because the only thing really stopping me right now isn't even the bosses. It's the littler enemies. And with abrasion definitely hurts. But you don't have to go for an abrasion build. And if you do go for an abrasion build, focus on where the refreshes are. Also, okay, that's another thing that they've changed, but like I said, there's some things and stuff in a future video that I'm gonna cover about like just like the changes and stuff that they've made to the game, because there's definitely some pretty hefty nerfs and some mediocre buffs, I would say. I'm not saying that the nerfs weren't probably needed, especially with the round drill, but yeah, that's for a future video. So yeah, and honestly, by this point, you would have more relics than this. Like genuinely, at this point, if you get lucky with the number of with the amount, as long as you are actively collecting gold and actively going for shops, you can easily surpass this number of relics by this point. Like it's not even a difficult thing to do, or like difficult thing to achieve. You can almost guaranteed get this many, if not more, relics by this point. Like I said, as long as you're collecting gold and as long as you're actively going for shops. If you're curious why I skipped abrasion there, it's just because I didn't feel like taking a bunch of self damage. And you could even reduce the amount of self damage you take if you go. I have 339 muscle circle. That's insane. But there's a relic that reduces the amount of self damage by 50%. Like that's just. I feel like that is just another thing that it just shows how completely broken this type of build is. It really is a game changer. It really is. Like you don't need, and if you wanted to go for like almost, if you wanted to go for like as much must circle as possible, go for one of these guys. Just go for one. And that's like your whole build. Just go for that. Because that's all you would need. That's really all you would need. I would say that's probably better than even Abrasion. I would say it probably is it's probably better than the Abrasion. And the reason I say that is because Abrasion does self-damage. Now, if you have something that reduces self-damage, then you could probably get away with it. But for the time being, I would say just go for Renewed Vigorb, and you'd be in a better situation. In a better, yeah. Because you don't have to, because then you can still get tons of Must Circle without even needing to worry about taking loads of self-damage. So that's just some advice I would give to anyone who is thinking about going for something like this. I would say probably avoid Abrasion if you go for a build like that. You can go for Abrasion. I just wouldn't really recommend it. I would definitely recommend going for Renewed Vigorb though if you're going for this. And yeah, I mean, this real I can't stress enough how insanely broken this is, cuz and the fact that there's a relic that makes it so that crits trigger other makes it so that refreshes can trigger other pegs, so that means it triggers other refreshes. That to me is so insane. It really is just I don't think they should have added this relic. If they were going for a balanced game, I don't see how they could possibly imagine they're making the game more balanced by adding this relic. I really don't. I'm gonna skip that just because I don't want to worry about the self-damage. Yeah, like I said, I cannot see how they planned on going for a balanced game with this relic. It has made everything so much easier. I also have so much money as well. Let's go for Abrasion, because why not? Get some of these refreshes. I mean, once you start just like stacking refreshes, and there just becomes so many refreshes on the board that nothing matters anymore. Like all you have to do is just shoot a ball, and then everything gets triggered, like just like that. Like it really does. The game really does change a lot when you get to a point like this where the only thing that matters is just refresh. Refresh, refresh, refresh. Trigger as many refreshes as you can. That's all that matters at this point. Like, I could buy everything in the shop if I wanted. I really could. The only thing that I'm actually probably going to do is get rid of this Nimball, because I already have a Nimball, and yeah. Oh, this just it's too easy at this point. Like I said, this has really made the game just too easy. Can you infinitely just shoot into the black hole? It's an achievement for the amount of times you shoot into a black hole. Anyways, what if the black hole got bigger every time you shot into it? I think that would be pretty cool. This fight is the only one that's like even remotely difficult, like against this boss. It's the only thing that's actually like gonna give you any issue. And when I say any issue, I mean you might take some damage. that isn't just from self-damage. Because in pretty much every other fight, the only damage you're taking is from self-damage. This is the only fight where you're gonna take maybe a little bit of damage from the boss. But then you're immediately just gonna win. And it really is that simple. This, if you do not use this relic, then fine. You'll probably still be able to win and stuff. Like, I bet your build will still be really good, and you'll get to the boss and you'll beat that boss. But if you want a build that is guaranteed to win, no matter what happens, no matter how screwed you get in the game, no matter how screwed over the game tries to I'm trying to find the words here, sorry. No matter how hard the game tries to screw you over, if you have this relic, you won't be able to lose. You just can't lose. With that many refreshes, if you have that one relic, that cookie, that makes it so that you heal when you refresh, it no longer matters. You just have to refresh a few times, and any damage you take, you're good. And with the amount of refreshes it adds, you can shoot freaking. You can shoot up into the sky, and you're guaranteed to at least hit a few refreshes. That's why this relic is so broken. It really is. It really is so broken. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name's Sam. I really hope you guys listen to the tips that I'm giving when it comes to, if you get this relic, take the relic. Like, screw all the other boss ones. Even the one that makes pegs durable, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. It's definitely gonna help, but if you get that leaf instead of that one, go for the leaf. I guarantee it. Go for the leaf. You'll be fine. You'll do better in a build. Even if the build doesn't revolve around refreshes, go for it. It won't hurt. It really won't. It really will not. Get some healing, you'll be fine. Anyways. Yep. I'll see you guys in the next video, and take care.